I don't know why I always, like, what are we doing? But hi, my loves. Hola. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ree, and I create conscious lifestyle content. I know the vibes are different today. We are sitting down, chatting for a little quick chat. It's been a long time since we sat down and talked about good health. A little bit more life has been lived, so I have some new things that has been helping me that I've been implementing, and hopefully they can help you too. So if you don't know, if you're new here, I have struggled with gut issues my entire life since I was yay high, this big, you know. It is something that really controlled my life. In part one, I talked about a whole bunch of other things, like really simple things that people don't even really think about, but really have a big impact on your gut health and just your life in general. I mentioned things like water, probiotics, eating well, aloe vera juice, a whole bunch of other things. So if you haven't seen part one, I'll link it below and you can check that video out. But all those things plus what I'm about to talk to you about today has really changed my life, has helped my gut so much, and honestly I can't even believe that I'm here today. Like, the numbers say I shouldn't be here today, you know what I mean? Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So one of the main things that I have recently been noticing that has been helping my gut is consistent hot tea in the morning. I know y'all probably looking at me like, but I'm telling you, tea, warm, and let me go back, caffeine free tea. Now if you are one of those people who have gut issues and you can take caffeine, by all means go for it, but I'm somebody who cannot tolerate caffeine whatsoever, so all my teas are caffeine free, and the tea of choice for me is ginger lemongrass. When I tell you, it is, first of all, it's such a good experience. Like, I feel like habits are easier to implement into your life when they are a delightful experience. And when I sip my tea in the morning, let me tell you, it is such a delightful experience. Like, the ginger lemongrass tea that I drink, let me go get it. Okay, I'm back. But here is the ginger lemongrass tea. I love to drink. It's organic, caffeine free. I'll make sure I link this down in the description box below. But I'm a loose leaf gal. Like, I just feel like there's something really luxurious about loose leaf tea. Comment down below if you're a loose leaf gal. So generally speaking, ginger and lemongrass both, they relieve indigestion. They both have soothing effects on things like gas, IBS, and just, you know, stomach discomfort in general. When I drink my hot tea first thing in the morning before anything, it just does what it's supposed to do. It does what it needs to do. And so I definitely stand by like having something warm, you know, to help your digestive system and get everything flowing in the morning before anything else. Highly recommend. Okay, moving on to our next thing that has been helping your girl out, which is sea moss. Now I know, before you click out the video, wait a minute. I know I hear a lot of people talking about sea moss, and honestly, it's worth the hype. But when I hear people talk about sea moss, I always hear like, oh, it has, you know, a lot of the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need, blah, 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 which it does. If you've never heard of sea moss, if this is your first time hearing it and you're not tired of hearing people talk about the benefits of it, it is a sea vegetable that contains a lot of nutrients and minerals that our bodies do require. When I first started taking sea moss years ago, I was taking it because they said, I don't know who that is, but they said it was healthy and it's good for you, and like just my own personal research, like I'm like, okay, this is a superfood, this is something that I want to have and implement into my routine. But then it wasn't until I stopped taking sea moss, not purposely, I just kind of ran out and didn't buy anymore, but it wasn't until I stopped taking it until I noticed the benefits of it. And I really realized that it has a huge impact on my digestive system. Digestive? I feel like I had trouble saying this word in the last video. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I watched it. But it has a really big impact on my digestive system. And what I mean when I say that, because I know like people want details, like it keeps me regular. Like, it keeps me regular. When I first started back taking it again, it was a point in my life where I was trying to get back on track with like my eating habits. I have been eating out a lot, and I was dealing with a lot of constipation. And once I mean like a few days to a week in, I noticed results from the sea moss, and it really helped with, you know, keeping my bowel movements regular. Yes, you talking about poop over here, because you can't talk about good health and not mention poop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? It's super easy to make. You just soak it overnight. I have been using full spectrum sea moss, and it's like a purple sea moss. But once you soak it overnight, you blend it the next morning, and I really enjoy putting it in my smoothies. So that's a really easy way to like take your sea moss, and I literally just take a tablespoon and put it in my smoothie. That's a really easy way. I don't even think about it. I can't taste it. Bada boom, bada bam. So if you're not new here, you probably have heard me say this before, but sea moss is becoming so mainstream, which is amazing. You know, that means more people are learning about it and are harnessing, and what's the word I want to use, and are reaping the benefits. There we go. Reaping the benefits of the lovely sea moss. However, with that comes a couple of things. Number one, you want to make sure that your sea moss is authentic. You want to make sure that it is not pool grown. Where I get my sea moss from, they literally go deep diving in the ocean in St. Lucia, and they get the sea moss. So it's authentic, and I will link it in the description box below where I get my sea moss from, and I'll also link a few other ones that I know are authentic as well, and that I have also tried. I'll link those as well. Number two, numero dos. Make sure that you are supporting Black owned businesses, because this is essentially where the popularity of sea moss started, and we want to make sure we're pouring back into those communities. We don't want this to be another thing that gets whitewashed. Like, I don't know another way to say it without, like, you know what I mean? We don't want this to be another thing. Let's just make sure we're supporting these Black owned businesses who made this superfood popular. So the next thing, I don't know why I always do that, but the next thing is beet juice. I know. Hear me out. This is one of my tried and true things that have really helped me. I guess I would say in the past year or two, I don't know. This is something that is very powerful and helps me a lot, and it's so sad that I seem to notice the results and benefits. I mean, when else would you notice them? But I've noticed the benefits when I'm down bad, when I've, you know, had too much sugar, too much processed sugar, too much processed foods, and I need something to get me back right. Like, this is a pick me up, and it's gonna do me right every single time. But generally speaking, beets help with gas, constipation, and bloating. Beets are also a great source of prebiotic fiber, and this just basically means that they help support the good bacteria in your gut that is needed for long-term digestive health. So what you need for this juice is 2 to 3 beets, depending on the size of it. Oh, and red beets. I like to use red beets. I've done gold beets as well. I don't know, but I just feel like red beets, they help with my gut more. I don't know the science behind it, but they help. But I personally like to use red beets, 2 to 3 of them, like I said before, and it's just gonna depend on the size of them. If they're small or medium, get 3, but if they're bigger, get 2. Then ginger, and I've made the mistake in the past, honestly here recently, by putting too much ginger. Like, literally you just need like a thumb size piece of ginger, like not that big at all. And I usually add 2 to 3 apples, depending on if the juice is going to just be for me or if I'm sharing the juice with my family or my partner. And the last thing, which is optional, sometimes I use this and sometimes I don't, but I definitely feel like it elevates the flavor: pineapple. But yeah, those are all the ingredients. You can put these in your juicer, or you can just pretty much cut all these vegetables and fruit up, put it in your blender, add water, and then strain it in a nut milk bag. That's if you don't have a juicer. Yeah, those are the ingredients. That's the recipe. It's amazing. It tastes so good, and it does wonders for my gut health. So kind of getting away from like food and things that you know, you can take orally. I want to get into something else that y'all already have with you right now in this moment, but you're just not utilizing it like you need to utilize it. I think that the power of our breath is something that we take for granted so often. Taking a deep breath, literally inhaling and exhaling, no matter where you are. Like, you literally can do that no matter where you are. Like, if you at work, you in the car, you picking up the kids, you're at the supermarket, you on Mars. You know what I'm saying? Can you do that on Mars? Anyway, you literally can use the power of your breath any freaking where. And you might be thinking, like, what does my breath have to do with my gut? A lot of times we're so stressed out and overwhelmed, and it goes to our gut. I know, me personally, like I said in the beginning, I have IBS, but I also have a nervous stomach. I'm an empath. I take on not only my problems, but the problems of the world and people around me, and it's just so detrimental to my gut health. I'm telling y'all, when something bad is happening or somebody I love is going through something, my gut is impacted in the worst way possible. But by taking advantage of my breath and using the power of my breath, it releases so much stress and so much pain, whether it's mine or not. And that's another thing when it comes to breathing. I was listening to a guided meditation, which I don't do often, but I listened to a guided meditation by Diddy, and he was just saying that, you know, exhaling is one of the most important parts when it comes to breathing, because you're letting go of so much stress, baggage, pain, trauma, you know what I'm saying, that may or may not have even been yours. And something that I realized too is when I finally take a breath, I didn't even realize that I was holding my breath. You know what I'm saying? And this is me and my partner, we have conversations about like the power of your breath and like your breathing patterns all the freaking time. And depending on where we are and who we're interacting with, our breathing patterns change. But if you can become aware of your breath and harness the power of your breath, it will make a huge difference in your life, but also your gut health. So when I was running down the stairs, I was getting this book by Jay Shetty. It's called Think Like a Monk. I thought what I'm about to read to you was really interesting and aligns with what I'm saying right now. The first thing we teach them is how to breathe. Why? I asked. Because the only thing that stays with you from the moment you're born until the moment you die is your breath. All your friends, your family, the country you live in, all of that can change. The one thing that stays with you is your breath. Then he goes on to say, when you get stressed, what changes? Your breath. When you get angry, what changes? Your breath. We experience every emotion with the change of the breath. When you learn to navigate and manage your breath, you can navigate any situation in life. And I just thought that was life-changing information, and it's something that I wanted to share with y'all today. So take that and do whatever you want with it. Yeah, and with that being said, that is everything that I wanted to share with you today that has been helping my gut. More things along with the things that I mentioned in part 1. Again, go watch it if you haven't already. Also, comment down below and let me know what you do to help your gut, to keep you regular, to keep you happy and healthy. I love you guys. I hope this video was helpful and insightful for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.